and welcome back to my channel. This is this week's Sainsbury's grocery haul. It was about 2.5 weeks ago since I last filmed a grocery haul, and that was quite a big one. So I didn't really need much shopping last week, so I never bothered filming it. I basically ran out of food yesterday, so I had to go to Tesco's for a mad dash to buy some things like bread, milk and some fruit, just to last us until shopping arrived this afternoon. So this is my fruit and veg section that I'm going to start with as always. If you hear that noise in the background, it's my two cats fighting. This is about my 100th attempt at making this introduction because they're driving me mad. So I'm just going to have to pause this so I can put them out into another room. And I'm back. So I'm going to start at the oranges here. So we've got 2 packs of the 4 oranges. These are the large ones, just Sainsbury's owns one, the large. These are seedless, which I much prefer. I hate having to chew in a bit of orange and then you find a seed in it. And then you're having to try and work the seed out your mouth discreetly when you're there with other people. So seedless are the way to go for me. Got 2 packs of the Pink Lady apples, a pack of mini apples, some bananas. These are a bit on the greener side because that's how I quite like them. I'm not too fond of them when they're already yellow and starting to go brown. I don't know, they just, although I kind of think they taste a bit sweeter when they're like that, I do prefer them when they're a bit more firm, I guess. Some baby potatoes. I've got 2 packs of the Butterhead salad and a packet of Wild Rocket. These are just basically for salad things. I've got some spring onions. I'm going to be using that for a chow mein recipe that I'm going to be doing. Got some mushrooms, 2 things of cucumber. I've got some chives that grow in a pot because I've got like a little herb gardeny thing in my windowsill. I've got some flowers. I bought these last week and they've lasted really well. They're still looking really good. But I bought these because when I was in Tesco yesterday, I bumped into my neighbour and her mum had died the day before. So I didn't want to buy them any flowers when I was in Tesco in case I bumped into her again around about the shop. So I thought I'll just add them on to this week's shopping. But it's a bit late now because shopping didn't come till 5 to 5. So I don't really want to bring it round today. So I think I'll just put it in some water and then go round tomorrow. Got some onions. The mange tout is also for the chow mein that I'm going to be making. Some cherry tomatoes. These are for the dish that I never made a few weeks ago, which was like a halloumi dish. It was halloumi and pasta and some cherry tomatoes. I didn't make that in the end, so I bought some more tomatoes to make that recipe. And the bean sprouts is also for the chow mein that I'm going to be making too. So that is all our fruit and veg that we're going to be having for this week. Moving on to the chilled and frozen items, I'm going to go over some of the meals that we're going to be having this week. My plan is over the next few weeks is to start winding down the things that are in my freezer and in my cupboards, just to start making room for the Christmas things that will be appearing on the shelves in the next few weeks. Although when I was in Tesco yesterday, their tubs of chocolates have already arrived. They were by the front door, like the Quality Streets, Celebrations, Roses, etc. I noticed they were £4. I didn't pick up any this time. I might do it in the maybe next month. But the problem is once you start buying them, you start to open them up. So you need to kind of hide them somewhere. So I'll start with the mince. I bought a big pack of mince this time because my plan is to cook it all together, just as like a bolognese type mix. What I do is I fry some, but with the mince I fry some onion, garlic, celery, pepper, a tin of tomatoes, some beef stock and some like Italian seasoning. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to split half and have it as a pasta bolognese, and the other half I'm going to use as a lasagna because I've got gluten-free lasagna sheets in the cupboard as well as the white sauce as well, and that's what the mozzarella is for topping the lasagna. So that's going to be one of the meals. I'm not sure what I'll do, if I'll do the pasta one or the lasagna, but I'll freeze the mince mixture for the other meal for a later date. So that's one meal. The other meal I'm going to be having is paella. I've got paella rice in the cupboard, and I've also got like a paella like mix to like herbs and spices. So I bought the prawns and some chorizo as well. I don't know what day I'll be having that. It'll be a day that I'm at home, because I think it takes quite a long time to make it. Saying that, I've never actually made paella before. I've only ever reheated it in the microwave from the ready meals that I've bought. So that's another meal that we'll be having this week. Bacon. I bought the bacon and the pancakes and the maple syrup for Steve's breakfast for tomorrow. So what I thought I would have is the gluten-free ciabatta rolls. I'm going to have that with the bacon, and I'm going to put some eggs as well and have the hollandaise sauce on top of it. And then the chives that I have, I'm going to snip a few of them over the top, and that'll be my breakfast tomorrow, because I've not had that in a long time. So I think it's kind of egg benedicti is what I'll be having tomorrow. Haddock fish cakes. These are price matched with Aldi's. I'm not a fan of fish cakes anyway. Either Steve, but Noah likes them. He gets them at nursery for these lunches. So I bought that for him one day this week, and I'll just freeze the other one for a later date. Although I'll need to start checking, because I'm quite bad at cooking a meal and then finding out he's already had that freeze lunch either that day or maybe a couple of days before. But they haven't sent me the email saying what they have in ages, so it might be a bit hit or miss this week back to nursery. Ham for sandwiches. Noah at the moment is eating ham sandwiches every day. If you ask him what he wants for lunch, it's ham sandwich. Same at breakfast time, it's always he calls them teddy bears, the nut bear cereal that he has. So at least with him going back to nursery on Monday, he's going to be getting proper lunches. Hopefully you'll eat them. Egg mayonnaise for sandwiches, the onion and chive cottage cheese. I'll sometimes have that for breakfast on toast. I'll put that on my toast with some sweet chilli sauce, that's quite nice. Some yoghurt, well, fromage fraise for Noah. The Goo Free from, they're back on offer again. I'm sure it's £2.85 for the two of them. Some hash browns. These are half price. These are 75p just now. The veggie fingers is basically just like your fish fingers but with veg, and it's got sweet corn, carrot, peas. I usually give that to Noah sometimes for a lunch or for his tea. The 30 cod fillet fish fingers, I'm sure they're £5 for the 30 of them, so that's quite a good price. So I buy that for Noah. Steve sometimes eats them as well. What else do we have? Oh, prawn crackers. They're going to be for my chow mein that I'm going to be making. So I've got the bean sprouts, the mange tout. I'm going to grate some carrot in it as well. Try to think what else. And I've got rice noodles. And I'll probably put chicken in it. Oh, and there was mushrooms. I forgot to mention the mushrooms and the celery in the fruit and veg section previously. But yeah, these are to eat alongside them. And the hash browns, I can't remember if I mentioned them or not. But in case I haven't, hash browns. We have that sometimes for like a brunch with some bacon or some beans, some fried tomatoes and fried mushrooms. So that is our food that we're going to be having for most of this week. Now on to our cupboardy things. I'll start over here. Got some cat food. I've got a couple of packets of Dreamies. The beef was a substitute. I think it was a chicken. Or is this one a chicken? A cheese. Yeah, it's a chicken one that was out of stock, so they substituted it with a beef. I bought two things. The Sheba soup for Violet's medication, but I sent a video to the vet last night because she's not really lame anymore, and then he texted me back, it was after 11 o'clock, saying, oh, I would just stop the medication now, she's not lame. So it was too late to take them off the order, but I can just give him to the cat just as a little treat. Got some cereal, the blueberry wheats, and got, these were a substitution as well. I'd ordered the 3 tins of the Sainsbury's own sweet corn and they gave me the 4 of the Green Giant mayonnaise. They're free from vegetable gravy granules because I'm just about out of them. Some tomato ketchup, and these are the cereal that Noah quite likes, although I've seen that Steve sometimes takes them as well for his work as a snack. So there's the chocolate ones and there's the honey ones. These are called Nut Bears. They're £2. They were, used to be £2.90, but I see that they've dropped the price for them. But Noah calls these teddy bears, so this is what he wants for his breakfast every morning. I do sometimes lie and say we don't have any left, so we can just get like normal cereal, because I'm pretty sure that it's quite high in sugar and probably not very good for his teeth to eat it on a daily basis. 2 packs of the croissants. These aren't my normal ones. Normally I get the ones that are individually wrapped just because they last longer, but I've got 8 that I need to get through by the 19th, so that's 5 days. So I'll need to put them into a airtight container because they go hard really quickly if you just leave them in the packet. So I've got them for breakfast, and also he sometimes has these after his nursery when he comes home because he's usually starving and he asks for a croissant, so I usually give him that before while I'm busy making his tea. So croissants for that. Waffles is a breakfast that he sometimes has at the weekend. Waffles are pancakes, he quite likes them. So these are £1 for a pack. I think there's 8. Yeah, there's 8 pack in the pack, so they're £1. Pom Bears are £1 just now as well, they're on offer. And the kettle chips, I've not had these in a long time, and I was just checking out and they came up I think like £1.15 a packet, so I bought them. But I find they make your fingers go really funny. I don't know, it leaves like a coating on your fingers. Does that happen to you as well, or is it just me? So that's the crisps. I'll probably have that with some cider or gin or whatever tonight because it's Saturday night. Rock and roll, some crisps and some alcohol. That is the highlight of my weekend. I've got some rolls for sandwiches. I bought bread yesterday from Tesco, so there's no bread in this order, or milk. I've got some tomato soup. Noah likes tomato soup. I made him chicken soup once with some celery, full of vegetables and those little pasta stars, but he wouldn't touch it. But he likes a tin tomato soup, so I buy him that. Some beans, I think they're like £3 or £3.50, or I can't remember how much they are. But they work out cheaper than buying them individually, obviously, even when they're on offer. Because I think they're like 75p, I think they are on offer just now. But it still works out cheaper to buy them as a can of 6. Hot chocolates, because it's kind of getting colder and I quite fancy a hot chocolate every now and then, so I bought a packet of them. And pumpkin puree, because I thought I might start making pumpkin pie soon. I put a recipe in the link below, but I did make a pumpkin pie. It was mini ones. It was a few years ago. It is gluten and dairy free, so if you're interested I'll pop the link below in the description box. But I thought I better start buying these now because the closer it gets to autumn they probably won't appear in the shops anymore. But I think it was like £1.60 I think for the tin. So yeah, so that's my cupboard things. And this is the last of the grocery haul. I am aware that I've kind of sped through this a bit because I'm trying to get it all done before Steve and Noah comes home, because they're going to be home really shortly. Shopping didn't come till closer to 5, and it took me about 100 attempts because every time I started to video, the cats were fighting or doing something, jumping on and off the table. They were just getting involved, so I've had to put Violet back in our crate just now to split them up because it was just a nightmare. So I'll just finish us off because I've still got all the shopping to go in the cupboards and in the fridge. I've already put the freezer stuff away, so I won't have melted that. But yeah, I'll just crack on with this and hopefully it won't take too long to put away my shopping. So I've got 4 rolls of kitchen towels. I've got the 4-pack of the baby wipes. I also picked up these body wipes. Noah started toilet training him, I think it was May, and he's done it really well. I think because we waited until he was just over 3 before we started, he took to it really well. It only took a few days for him, and I thought I would use these to try and encourage him to wipe his bum. I don't know if they're any good. Can't remember how much they were. I think they were like 80 something p, I think, maybe. Can't remember. This toothpaste on offer, normally they're £4, but they're down to 2, so I bought 2 packets this time. Got some dishwasher tablets. So once I've finished this, I need to put the dishwasher on because it's full and I've got none left. So these, I think they're maybe about £6, I think, for the 50. But they're actually quite good. I prefer these to things like Finish, because these ones, I'm sure, are not tested on animals. A lot of their products in Sainsbury's, their household things, are cruelty free, so that's why I tend to buy quite a lot from there. I've also got some fabric conditioner, some toilet roll, hand wash. I've got 2 of them, they're 50p each. Steve needed some eye drops because he's bothered quite a bit with his hay fever just now, so he wanted them. I bought the Sainsbury's ones in the past and he said they weren't that good, so we're going to try the Optrex ones. 2 things, a body spray, they're on offer just now as well. I think they're normally like £3, but they're £1.75 or something each just now. Nappies, Noah only wears nappies at night time, and even then he's dry, so I am thinking I may be stopping them. But I used to use Pampers before, but I started using these last time, just like the last month or so, and it's hard to say if they leak or not because he hasn't been peeing overnight. But in the reviews they do seem to be quite good, and they're not that expensive either. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll have a look and I'll put it up on the screen, but it does have good reviews anyway, on their website on them. And lastly, some black bags for rubbish. So this is this week's shopping haul. I'm away to put on the dishwasher, put away the shopping, and then we're going to have a takeaway and I'm going to relax since it's Saturday night. I hope you have had a good weekend too, because this probably won't be up until probably the beginning of next week. So take care, thank you, bye.